Welcome back. Well, people all over the country have suddenly been thrust into this new role. It's called How to Be a Teacher. I can add that to their resume now. And for some people, maybe finding it pretty difficult to adjust to their new role as being a teacher. So to learn some of the tips and tricks from the best, we've got Dr. Shannon Gray with us. She's with the College of Education and Human Development at the University of North Dakota. Doc, thanks so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it because I know there's a lot of just sort of fear with parents out there going, hey, what am I doing? Am I going to do this right? Am I going to screw up my kids' education? What's the most important thing you want to share with parents today?
Well, I think the most important thing, okay, I'm getting feedback.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Much better. I think the most important thing to remember is that number one, parents really are, really think of themselves as facilitators. That would be number one. Number two is to really focus on creating some level of routine and predictability for their kids, because that is what communicates to kids that things are going to be okay and that they're going to be okay. So what I mean by routine is settling into some sort of routine. Like, we get up in the morning, then maybe we work on math, then we take a break, and then we work on spelling, and then take a break and whatever. But to develop a routine. And one of the ways that we use in education is to create a schedule. And I know that a lot of parents probably are on social media, and maybe they get onto Pinterest and they look at, okay, how do I make a visual schedule for my child to help create predictability and increase routine and those sort of things. And you can really go down the rabbit hole with that. And I would advise against that. You can certainly go to Pinterest and things like that to get ideas, but don't be too hard on yourself. Know that you don't need to make it look beautiful. It doesn't have to be all color code and whatever. Creating a schedule with your child can be as simple as on a whiteboard with dry erase marker to write what your schedule is going to be. It could be on just a plain sheet of paper and you write it. Maybe you draw like a little stick figure of what that might look like for kids that maybe are not strong readers yet.
Hey, Doc, can I ask you this? I mean, I think the schedule is so critical for kids, but when you do a lot of research, I mean, obviously some families might have 2 or 3 kids that are different ages, and I'm assuming that a 8-year-old's attention span is not as long as a 15-year-old. So any suggestions on maybe setting up a structure for each one of them to maximize the opportunity for learning?
Right. Yes, you are right that it's going to look very different. And let's say that if I was a mom and, well, I am a mom, but I had 3 kids all in different ages trying to do that. Say that I have an early childhood kiddo from, 3 to 8, for example, and I'm trying to homeschool them. And maybe I have a 3rd grader and maybe I have an 8th grader. Their schedules are going to look very different. The 3-year-old is going to be much more hands-on, and I might be engaging them in come help mommy with this, and we're going to measure things, and we're going to learn how to wait our turn, and we're going to be given kind of an idea. First, you're going to do this, then you're going to go do this, and really keeping it at very simple schedules, kind of a first then sort of a thing, or first then. With my elementary age kiddo, I might be sitting down with them and saying, okay, which things are the hardest for you? When do you think that you can focus the best? And then developing the schedule with them based on that. For example, some kids, they say right away in the morning, I can really focus, but then after lunch, I'm not as good. Then I would be developing the schedule based on that with that child. For my older kid, I might recognize that they're going to do much, much better if I let them sleep until 11. you know,
Can we incorporate that into every school?
absolutely. I mean, I have a child in high school right now, and he's still in bed.
Yeah.
He's probably embarrassed by that, but he's been starting his schooling at noon, 1 o'clock, and cranking it out.
Hey,
But the point of that is that it really is individualized. And if I would have a meeting now, I wouldn't be trying to have a hefty schedule for my kids to try
hey,
to
Doc,
meet or to do. Yeah.
we're running up against the clock here, but I think what you
All
just said
right.
there is the most magical thing. And I think that's why I don't know this, but I feel that when we get on the other side of this, we're going to transform education because every kid's so different. To try to force a young person into a seat at 9
Mhm.
a.m. when they should be there at a different time just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, Doc, thank you so much for the insight. We
Absolutely.
really, really appreciate it. We hopefully will have you back, okay?
All right. I had lots more I could have told you, but
Well, then we'll have you back. Unfortunately, on TV time, it's very, very concise. So
I know. I
we'll talk to you
apologize.
again soon and stay with us. We got much more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.